Hello, welcome back to another edition of Wednesday Wisdom. I have Amanda Ramos and Garret Cobb with me today, and we are going to discuss the many different methods of relaxation, such as tapping, meditation, yoga, things that are quite simple and easy and generally inexpensive, so that you don't actually have to put any money out to achieve your goals. And I think we need to start maybe with just simple music and meditation. What do you think, Amanda?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, so like you're really good with like music therapies, and she's actually offering that on the website now if anyone's interested in that, for a very small fee. Very small, because we really genuinely just want to help people. But yeah, she's offering art and music therapies, both for people that need help with that or just don't want to do it alone. But music is a great way to calm yourself and relax and bring yourself back in if you're feeling anxious or angry or whatever, you know, and a lot more fun than just trying to count to 10, which never worked for me, by the way, ever. Counting to 10 just pisses me off more. So like I got to do something else. So you want to talk about
That would have
music?
I was going to say to that comment, yeah, I would have had to start back from 1,000
Right.
backwards.
And then I would mess it up and that would piss me off again. So no counting.
Well, by that time, you end up on the damn number anyway, so you can't remember what you're mad about anyway. So
right.
There you go. But
I think that is supposed to be the point.
No. Yes, for sure. And that comes with like, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but through the music, though, the music is so soothing, I think they should play it more in nursing homes. The music for, the elderly, that the time that they grew up in.
Yeah.
Because it would bring back really good memories, right? Of that genre, of that era, of that time, right? Because I just bought my dad a record, a couple of records, and he's just loving it. It's just the vinyl, right? And just everything, it's just old school. And I know that it's soothing to him and that it's bringing back, amazing memories of when he was a DJ and when he was a kid, and maybe dates, that he went on, or fun times with his friends, right? And then sometimes what's really nice about music too is sometimes we forget even what those words were, right? And what the story it was telling. And sometimes those lyrics of that song could be so amazing, and it could be telling you to be better in a situation, or soothing you in a situation, right?
Yeah.
Or helping you in a
Cheering
situation.
you up. Just
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
that's huge to me for music. So I definitely, and I do it for my plants too. My plants have therapy too, and they,
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, my plants love music. And Nassim Harramain, the not astrophysicist, quantum physicist, he actually has been talking about how those vibrations are very healing to us on a cellular level. And I would love for you to listen to some of his stuff, because you're wanting to do sound healing and couple that with your plants. I think that would be very interesting and beneficial to you. I'll send you the link to that one, because that's a really great, actually, I'll just put it in the discussion, the bottom under the video, so that anybody that's interested can look at it, because that's really beautiful, the way that he explains how that's so healing. And as you were talking about the people in the nursing home, I was just thinking about how, like, if you can take them back to those happier thoughts, those healthier times. I mean, that's like the key to what we teach in energy healing of the body, to think back to a healthier time, go back in your quantum memory bank and pull that you forward and feel like that you to be healthier, right, and happier. And so to do that for the elderly in the nursing homes would be really beautiful, because a lot of nursing home residents don't get a lot of visitors. They don't get a lot of interaction with other people. I grew up going visiting nursing homes to cheer up the elderly when I was a child. And it's really heart-wrenching how sad and lonely they are. So for us to just do something so simple as to try to get the nursing homes to do music, play music, how beautiful would that be? So I love that.
Yes.
It's really
Yes.
good.
Just that, and then maybe even in hospitals too,
Yeah.
or like children,
Yes.
orphanages and places like that, even in, the homeless shelters when they're serving food, it's a healing device. It really is.
It
It
is.
really is. And if you played it more on your with the right frequencies, you would also constantly be healing yourself, and that phone device would actually become a healing device instead of the other kind of device that we don't like. So I think that would be in key too. So like your children, when they go to sleep at night, playing like ocean music, or ask them, they're very highly intelligent and they know what they like. So give them some options of some nice and calming music, and there you go. Like, have them get in that habit, and they really like it too. My nephew got actually kind of addicted to it when they left my house. He likes to study to classical or jazz music in the
Wow,
background
awesome.
with no words, right? So yeah, he likes that, and he's 9 now, but he's been listening to it for a while in the background doing his homework. I had Julia listen to it when she was little too. So yeah, I just that's a big thing, and we all can listen to it. And I'll tell you too, my cat upstairs, Cleopatra, every morning she loves for me to turn that radio on, and I turn on the classical station, and she lays in that room with the music until I go to bed at night, and then I turn off that radio. And but she loves that. She loves the music, my cat does.
Right.
So maybe your animals will.
Go ahead. But did you have more to
Yeah,
say?
no, that's
Okay.
no, sorry.
Okay. Will you explain to people what you mean by the right frequency, like with the megahertz or hertz? What is it called? Is it hertz or megahertz?
Megahertz, and
Okay.
then it's to do with the megahertz. And for the people out there, so the megahertz, so that is a frequency. So to explain it, there's a really good video, and we'll try to get that out there for you guys to watch. But it's showing how water affects and how the music when you play it, right? And so when you're playing good music, the water makes beautiful shapes. When you're playing not so good music, that would mean the shapes are jagged and they're harsh and whatever, right? So we want to take that concept and we want to put that into that's our body. We're that water, okay? So when we're listening to some which, don't get me wrong, there's music for the right things, right? Like at the gym, the music there is like this crazy hip hop music and all this stuff, right? And it's to
Yeah.
gear you up to have
High
to
energy.
work out. Yes, yeah, that kind of music, right? So that's a different frequency. So
Right.
when we're talking about these frequencies, they're different parts of healing, and they're going to vibrate from what you're listening to into your body. And each frequency will have a certain vibration that will heal certain parts of your body, right? They'll calm. They're really good to listen to at night too, as well. So let's say like 432 hertz, right? I like to listen to that a lot. That's a really calming one for me. It's got, some of them have drums. It's, I don't know. I guess the music, I would say it sounds kind of like a, with some drums and then some bells in the background. Um, but it's something you would listen to if you were at a spa, maybe, kind of out in the islands, maybe, you know,
Right.
real tropical sounding.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one of my favorites. And then at the top of my head, that's the one. And then there's 500. I want to say 528 hertz. I didn't write it down, but they keep going up from there, right? And they're all different. So you want to be careful because you get tricked sometimes and you don't understand you're listening to this music and you're trying to feel better, but it's not, you're not going to do it.
Because it's the wrong frequency, like
Yes,
the wrong
correct.
megahertz or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, you might.
I remember learning something about 432 hertz or whatever it is used to be our typical go-to for making music, and it got switched or something, but I don't really know a whole lot about that. I understand that it's important because I understand vibration is very important, you know, and like with the binaural beats, I understand that difference between the alpha and the delta and, you know, all those different waves, but I never really
Stuff.
researched that very far. So if you know anything about that, please elaborate for the audience.
Yeah, I was trying to find my cheat sheet on the actual frequencies that are the correct amount, but they went in and switched it. It was at 432 hertz, and for a very long time, I say that was probably what they had playing on the radio when we weren't even alive, right? That was just playing
Right.
on the radio, and so and then it got switched along the way, and so that's why you've got to be careful. Even when you're on YouTube, you've got to be careful because there'll be videos that come up and you just have no clue what that frequency is. So you really have to have a little bit of discernment, right?
Right.
And maybe type it up, and Google and that kind of stuff doesn't really give it to you.
Right.
So but we'll write it down for you and we'll put it out there so that people can have that to go back to and have a little cheat sheet to, you know, gauge on how you're feeling. You can go to that frequency and listen to that music and allow yourself mindfully and, you know, using your placebo effect too as well to help guide you to heal yourself.
Right.
It's
And I
quite
was going to
easy.
also add to that, for people that don't necessarily want to do a lot of research on it, because some people just don't, just maybe listen to your body and the way that you're feeling in the moment when you're hearing different music. Like tune out the lyrics for a minute and just really feel the music itself, the vibration of it, and see how it's resonating with you. Is it making you feel agitated or tense? Or is it making you feel relaxed or happy? Like really start listening to your body when you're listening to music. I think that would be a good start anyway.
And there'll be some music too that I've heard people say that just makes them into tears, right? They just
Mm-hmm.
cry.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they just cry. It's
Yeah.
okay. Obviously, that's a frequency, or that song or whatever it does touches your heart, and
Mm-hmm.
it's allowing you to connect in a way
Yeah.
that, like, that's the way that we want to connect with music, right? That's the way we want, that's the way that that artist actually wanted you to feel, right? They
Right.
wanted you to feel that when they wrote that, they put all of that into this. Some songs by Beethoven or Mozart, like just give me the chills, and I just want to stand up, and I feel like I'm the conductor, and I'm just, ah, why? You're so alive,
Yeah.
feeling it. Feel that. You want to feel alive, right? And it's okay if you are breaking down a little bit and you're feeling that frequency. It's actually helping you heal and cry and get over some stuff, and that's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I don't know why, but I can't sing church hymns without crying. It's got to have something to do with the pitch of the song, of the music, you know, because I'm not like Christian, right? I'm not religious per se, but something about church hymns, I can't help it. I cry. I can't sing them and not cry.
You
It's
know,
gotta be the
The
pitch.
Fifth Element, that movie.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So that part where she's singing an opera, for the people that don't know, it's a
Yeah.
very. I actually did a little research too on that part, and that's the producer's girlfriend, because the person that was originally supposed to do it backed out.
Oh,
But the opera part, my goodness, I just get like the chills when I
yeah.
hear her
It's
sing and
emotional.
that. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, there. I mean, it can, that's what I'm saying. It just can be from a part of a movie, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
it's it's you're reacting from your heart or emotion or a thought or a memory or something, right? And just let it flow through you, walk
Yes.
through it, right,
Yes.
with the music.
Absolutely. So music is a good way to help relax. Meditation is another, but that seems to be kind of a sticky subject for a lot of people. They have trouble doing meditation. They feel like they need to be some monk that's been practicing for 20 years. But really, and I get it. I understand because it took me a long time to figure out how to get my voice in my head to shut up because she talks constantly. I mean, she even talks when I'm trying to sleep sometimes. She's still just chattering away. She's a chatty Cathy. But so it's hard to get that voice to shut up in your head. And for me, when I first started really learning how to be still and be quiet, I used the sound of the fan. I would turn on my fan next to me and just focus on the hum of the fan. Then I went on to listening to like Indian music where you're just hearing the drum beat, and I would just focus on the drum beat to quiet my mind. Some people, it works for them to just simply go outside and sit on the ground and listen to nature around them, really try to hear what is out there. And that way you're tuning into that and tuning out of that voice in your head. So if either of you have any good meditation hacks, let's share them because I know there's a lot of people that's something that would very much benefit them if they could just figure out how to make it work. And it doesn't have to be long either, right? I mean, 5 minutes.
I have a really cool trick that I learned for when I worked with mental health clients that had anxiety. Because it takes the idea of meditation away and whether I'm doing it right or not. And, do I even believe I can do it? So it's just simply you're going to trace your fingers. So I have them just think. I'll have them sit there for a minute and just think and have that experience and observe how they feel during that time. And then for a minute, I just have them with their finger trace each individual finger and then go across and then have them start all over. And then do that. And they'll do that for 1 minute. Then at the end of that minute, I ask them to find out how do they feel. And usually by the end of that minute, they're totally distracted because they're fixated, focused on doing this, but it's also as soothing and it's activating and keeping them activated. So eventually you do that and then you do it for 2 minutes. Then you have them do it for 3. And then you have them do it where they don't use their hands and they just use their visualizing, outlining their finger. And you get them to where they can do that almost during any activity that they're doing. So it can get them out of the moment of the anxiety. And then they're just practicing that. But it helps with visualization and it helps with all these other things. And And a lot of people seem to have pretty good success quickly, as far as I just need to get myself out of that emotion kind of thing. So
I love that.
I like
Love
yeah.
that.
I'd even be driving and doing it myself sometimes, where I'm driving down and just to see if I could do it, but safely,
Right?
So yeah.
Yeah, I like to sometimes talk out loud, right? Talk out loud, just say what I'm grateful for. Sometimes I'll do a little I do a little hum sometimes. Sometimes it's like, just focusing. I would do a lot when I would drive. I was the passenger, excuse me. I was not driving because this would sound very scary. But I would close my eyes and put some earphones on and put on, like I was talking about, the music, and just really shut the world out, right? Give myself that time and just just say, how much I love myself, how much I love the day, how awesome the day is going to be. I just talk really highly to myself. Or sometimes I like to just go to the sun and I like to just say thank you to the sun, right? And I send my love to the sun and I just ask it to like send it back to me. It doesn't have to be very, very long. Like my husband, he does his little meditation while he drives too. And he's just saying thank you for everything that he has going on throughout the day while he's driving. And he's consciously working on not being an aggressive driver and just being really, calm with all of his thoughts, right? And I think that's just like what you can do for meditation. You don't have to have a candle, a formal thing going. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You could, like, in the shower, you can be wherever you want to. You could be cooking, you can, whatever the heck you are doing, you can do a little meditation, and that just brings you back. It's all it is just, I don't even say, like, if you do have those thoughts, who cares? Just say thank you for the thoughts. Your thoughts will slowly stop dominating your brain. I promise you. But your brain's a muscle. So if you don't work on it, you don't give it a try, and you can't just do a week of it. I've heard a lot of people go, I just did a week of it and it didn't work, man. It just didn't work. Well, come on, you have to give it a little bit longer than a week, and you'd only have to do
30
like 3
days.
minutes, right? When you pop, 30 days. Try 1 month on your calendar or put it on your phone, right? And just set a time, 3 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And you'll start to want to do more.
And those thoughts, appreciating those thoughts, like you said, appreciating what it is, because at some level that turns into discernment for what you're actually bringing through from your higher self. So learning over time to find is this my limiting belief? Is this my pattern thinking? Am I aware of what those even are? As you're having those and appreciating what they are, and it kind of helps your awareness in that process.
Right. Plus the pep talk is very good too. It's really good to talk good to yourself. Even if you're feeling bad, even if you're feeling anxious or angry or whatever, still give yourself that pep talk, uplift yourself, compliment yourself, realize the moment that you're in, be aware of it, right? And also I wanted to just add to the humming that it is scientifically proven now that whistling and humming actually makes you happier. It lifts your mood, but it also makes your cells happier. So they rejuvenate quicker and better, for lack of a better way to explain it. So it's actually healthy to hum and to whistle. And also I wanted to mention real quick, mindful meditation, busy meditation is a thing too. And a lot of people do this and they don't even realize they do it. Like those people that love to go mow their lawn, mow their yard, because it just kind of puts them in that moment, that Zen moment. That's actually mindful meditation, to go and mow or to pick weeds or, whatever. I mean, that's why the Asians rake the sand, right? That's the whole point of them raking the sand, is mindful meditation. because some people need to be busy. They need to be active. They don't know how to sit still. So I want people to understand that too, because you don't always have to just go sit in the yard and be in your lotus pose. You know, you can be up busy, you know, raking the leaves or whatever, cleaning the gutter, you know, different stuff like that actually is very mindful meditation.
Right. Well, Francis, we had said before, like, and I say this a lot too, doing the dishes, right? Doing your laundry, being mindful that you actually are able to do that, and that you actually are going to be, you know, putting these clothes on so that you can figure out, like, if you're hot, cold, whatever, these different options, right? There's just these little simple things to do throughout your day. And you might not even, like you said, understand that you are meditating
Yeah.
because you're doing the mindful part. It's not like you have to be the quiet part of that meditation. It is going to happen. It will happen later, but just
Yeah.
give yourself a break and go through each stages like everybody else does.
Right. Yeah. Take that little mini vacation while you wash the dishes or vacuum the floor or whatever. And then, you know, eventually try to become aware of that moment. Be aware of the fact that your mind is more calm when you're doing this activity, whatever it is, you know, because the more conscious we become, the larger our consciousness becomes in turn. And so the more aware you are of yourself, then the more open you are to source and all of the abilities that are there, right? Which is the end goal for all of us, I would think. Garrett, I feel like you needed to say something else to this before we move on.
No, I think
You didn't have nothing?
I'm good.
Okay. Okay, cool.
No.
All right. So let's move on to like stretching and yoga type stuff, because again, that sounds like a lot of work to a lot of people, and we want to simplify this and give it the KISS principle, you know, keep it simple. So anybody got any good tips on yoga and stretching that are easy and simple?
Stretching. I love stretching. I try to make that a part of my daily life. Stretching. I like to stretch, which is kind of funny, but I like to stretch at night before I go to bed.
Yeah, me too.
And there was a lady that I had watched, right? It's relaxing. I feel like my muscles are less achy in the morning, right? Because I'm a cradle sleeper. I like to stretch my legs and stuff. So, you know, it's good to get that stretching out before I guess I'm gonna go put myself in that position all night long. But there was a lady that I had watched before a long time ago, and she had some really great, inspiring information about stretching. And stretching, actually, when you do it deeply, right, and you're holding that stretch for a really long time, it's actually a workout, first of all. It really can be. It can be a workout. But also, we have to remember that sometimes I've had some weird memories or odd thoughts come up in my head when I've done some stretches. And sometimes we can have thoughts or memories that are locked into a muscle, and through a stretch that is going to come out. And that's kind of another form of therapy that you will end up not even knowing that you're giving yourself. And because don't freak out when you're stretching and all of a sudden you just remember something. You're like, why the heck am I thinking about this right now?
Yeah.
Don't try to figure it out. Just go, like, again, go through that thought and that muscle and that stretch and hold it and really, like, let it go. And that's going to release, and it probably won't even have to feel that pain again and that stretch anymore, you know?
Right. This might actually be a good place for you to tell everybody about your shoulder.
Okay. Yes. So, a long time ago, I thought that I hurt my shoulder at a family reunion playing dodgeball or kickball, excuse me, and I threw it like a crazy person. and I thought I hurt my shoulder, right? So every time some stuff, weird stuff happens, I always try to like go back to that scenario, like that's why your shoulder or whatever with your body hurts, right? Well, that's not the case. That's not the case. My case of my shoulder is, and I always tell my daughter, I'm a weird one. I always go to the spiritual side to try to figure out why I'm having these body aches. So my shoulder, right shoulder, means I'm doing a lot of stuff, right? And yes, I had a lot of stuff going through the holidays, yada yada, right? And then I also was not being true to myself to like share myself wholly with all of my family. And so I decided to like share these videos with all of my family now, and my shoulder started feeling better. And then I also decided to take a nap when needed. So, you know, I'm listening to my body for the more rest. Um, so that's a symptom that, because right now it actually would be hurting me. Last Wednesday, my shoulder was hurting me the whole time while I was talking, and it hurt me all week. Like I just kept wanting to massage it, right? And that's I feel like when you're obsessed with something in your body and you're wanting it to feel better, there's actually a spiritual part that you need to connect with to help relieve this and for you to move on so that you don't have that body ache anymore. But it's you know, all up to you on your way if you believe that or not, right? But that's my true experience. And I'm doing a lot better, and I feel like I'm gonna rock and roll this next year because I have embraced that part of me too. So
Yeah. But you felt like it was maybe an emotional block, right? And so much like stretching helps to release memories and thoughts that you weren't conscious of before. The ache you were feeling was a way of you to your inner self telling you to think about this emotion. And then once you started releasing that emotion, the pain of the shoulder was released as well. Yeah. So I think that's important for people to think about,
and I
that,
also
you know, listen to where your body tenses up. Listen to where it's hurting, because sometimes it's not a medical thing. Sometimes it is emotional.
well, and I stopped rubbing it and I stopped like fixating on it for a little bit, right? And then really started to go, well, what the heck is going on? Right. And once I did that, it was within a couple days that I was able to tap that and then go, okay, all right, really it was in my brain. And then today was like, all right, this is what's happening. And now I'm feeling so much better. So it is. And then through stretching and then whatever, now it's gonna feel better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it go away. So yes.
It's awesome. And
Garrett,
what
what
about,
about with you?
Yes. Oh, go ahead.
no, yeah, I was gonna
Stretching for
go ahead.
so I like to kind of, one of my tools is to go barefoot walking in the grass for one, just as far as grounding and a technique. So I started doing that, and naturally I wanted to sit down on the ground, whether I realized I was doing it or not. I just chose to sit down. I usually take my dog and I go sit in the grass, and then I could not help but want to stretch. Just so it's almost like one action allows these other awesome self-loving actions to take place. So just by choosing to go out and walk barefoot in the grass allowed me into these other different things and showed me that I liked and enjoyed doing them. So now that became more of a ritual of going and actually stretching after I walk barefoot. And also, you know, the sun's there, so why not, you know, do a little sun gazing if it's earlier or later in the evening, you know. But the stretching also feels good. And I noticed I would sit and play with my dog, and if I sat on the floor instead of the couch, I actually felt lighter. My energy was kind of like that child energy came out. So sometimes I'll just sit on the floor and stretch and kind of play around with him, and it just kind of lightens my mood instantly just by sitting on the floor. And then you're more like, once you do that, it's like, oh, I can't help but want to stretch now because I'm down here, you know. So it just kind of leads into the next few things. Yeah. So So as far as stretching, that's definitely one. And you're choosing you in that, which is a self-loving activity, and that instantly feels good. And as you go through these tools, you find that, wow, I really enjoy doing that. So you'll tap into it more. You won't see it as, oh, I have to go exercise or I have to go run 3 times a week, or you do it because you enjoy it. It takes on a whole different energy. So
Yeah, the key is not to make it a chore, right?
yes,
Because that's
to do this.
I learned that when I did hair. All my clients, I didn't want them to come for a haircut wasn't a chore, right? It was a delightful engagement with me, right? So yeah, another one that's really good too is it helps with your digestive system, right? It helps. There's certain stretches that are good for that, or like I said, it help you sleep, or like going for a walk after you're done eating. That's really, really good, right? That just helps get the food digesting, especially if you had so much of a big meal, right? The worst thing that we could do is go sit down on the couch or sit down afterwards and just, ugh, right? Like get up and go move around, and you'll feel better. You'll feel better.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I do know if you do eat and you feel miserable, if you lay on your left side, you'll help your digestion process a little bit easier or sooner. It helps the natural flow of the way everything's supposed to process.
There's a one that you do if you put your leg up against the wall, right, with your butt kind of tucked right there and your legs up, and rest like that. It helps. It's almost like the inversion table.
Okay.
A little bit like that for your intestines, and they kind of just like flow a little bit. And it's really good. You'd probably do it for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's a really good stretch to help with intestines and like all that kind of part of your body right there. It's really great. And inversion tables are really great to
Yeah.
use if you can. Yes.
Yeah, they are.
Those are
I have
amazing.
one. I love mine. Wouldn't trade it for the world. Well, maybe for a better ankle grip, because they're not so comfy, but the rest of it's really good. And yoga is
And
also
they're not made for tall people.
Do what?
I said sorry, they weren't made for tall people.
They're not made for very short people either. You got to be just right. It's a Goldilocks machine. Because I'm a little bit too short for mine. Which kind of fits.
Sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah, that actually kind of fits perfect with what I was getting ready to say about yoga, because yoga is another really great thing to do to relieve stress, to relieve anxiety. Even if it's just one pose, you can just do one pose, and it's very releasing for negative energies. And I do yoga with my children, my 5 and my 6-year-old. Every morning we do yoga before we start homeschool. And we do not do traditional poses because I have a 5 and a 6-year-old. I mean, they can't do all of those difficult poses, right? I mean, I used to do like the facing the sun and all those really important fancy word kind. But now that I have little kids that want to do it with me, we just kind of freestyle our own yoga, and we've come up with some really fun, great poses. And that made it more fun for me to actually want to do with them, because a lot of people are like, oh, okay, my kids are going to slow me down doing my workout or whatever. And I almost had that feeling about myself when my kids expressed interest in wanting to do yoga with me. But no, it actually made it more fun. It made me look forward to it more. So now every morning, like the first thing I do when my feet hit the floor is make the bed and go get the kids, and we do yoga, Speaking of kids, what?
You'll probably find they're more natural at it too. A lot of the kids these days that are coming in with their DNA already upgraded are more natural.
Right? Oh, I agree. And they're flexible.
Oh yeah.
And you don't even really know it too, right? They're super flexible. And
creative.
I was telling Kelly,
Uh,
yes, they are. They're very creative, and they can probably do some different poses that you wouldn't even think about that they could
Yeah.
do.
yeah. Like
Right?
they
And you're
create
like,
the craziest. We do kind of a monkey see, monkey do thing. And like Bella will like throw everything this way and be like, do this, you guys, you know, and we're all just like doing crazy stuff, you know, we just do silly stuff. But it's a lot of fun.
right? And then you can do well, and you can with that too, there's that calmness that you get afterwards too, right? I
Yeah.
don't know, it's satisfaction.
Yeah.
Right? It's a satisfaction.
Yeah.
Everything that we're talking about, though, I promise you, you will get a satisfaction for yourself. And then if you start to bring, like you said, Kelly, your kids, remember, if you're a busy person, sometimes this is your time that you're spending time with your kids in this way too.
Yeah.
At the same time, you're killing,
And it's
you
like
know,
15
you're
minutes.
watering 2 plants with.
Yeah. And it's like 15 minutes, right? And then we have a little cup of milk or something, or a cup of juice, and then we start school and they're ready to sit down and learn, you know. Like if we skip yoga, they're crazy, they're hyper, you know. But we do that and they're actually like they're expressing that energy, you know, and letting it out. And they actually understand the concept of the kinetics purpose of the yoga and the stretching as well, you know, the kinetics for the strengthening and the, you know what I'm saying, like the push and pulls and then all the stretches. They understand that when they create a new pose,
Why you go,
yeah,
right?
like
Why
they,
you go into flow from one pose to the next pose? Why
yes,
you're doing that?
yes, that like they really get it, you know, and they focus on it and they're releasing their extra energy and exuding it, and then they're ready to sit down and do school. So I mean, I think it's great for kids to do yoga.
And you're grounded, right? Because you're connecting,
Yes.
you're when you're doing yoga, you're
Yes.
on the ground. So you're connecting with the ground. So yes,
Right.
that you could even do one thing too if you wanted to. If you don't want to do any of these, I just want to lay there. Fine. Lay down on your ground.
Yep.
And just get a pillow and lay down and put your
Yep.
feet, or if you can't lay down, sit in a chair and put your feet on the ground and
Yes.
do something like that. Choose to do things different, like as you're watching TV, make sure your feet are planted on the ground, right? So you are grounding a little bit. There's just,
Yeah.
The beautiful thing about any activity that children do, anytime they cross certain planes of their body, like
Their
left
meridian.
and right, the left cross my meridians over,
Yeah.
they're activating their synapses and allowing their left and right brain to connect more often. That allows them to function. It allows them to learn things quicker and enhances their ability to do so many different things. And part of this, I took a course one time, and it's called Brain Gym, but it's exactly what Qigong and yoga do anyway.
Right.
So with that, there's certain types of direct exercises. These are just examples. And so if you ever heard of the thinking man that does this, so when you think of the TFT and the EFT tapping stuff, there's a reason, because that's a connecting point. So these specific points can be activated, or which allow us to do things. So, or if you're like, when you put your shoulder and you're trying to figure something out, these are points. There's
Right.
a reason you do that without even knowing. And when you can learn all these different types, like these are categorized in the midline movements, energy exercises, positive points that help with deepening attitudes. You can actually help repattern people's beliefs and thoughts with these exercises. So this is a list of categories of what each different exercise actually helps enhance. One could be helping them learn how to listen more, or help them do all these extra other things. And it's just all kind of organized, but all you really have to do, it's kind of in depth if you go in and try to figure out what you're going to do to strategize it. But if all you do is get your kids to have fun, like you're doing with your yoga in the morning, they're doing this stuff anyway. You know what I mean? These are natural movements that are so easy to do. And so it's just the idea of having fun, but
Yeah.
it's just how much more enhancing actually helping your children if you do just go out and play with them for 15 minutes.
Right.
And the benefit that you're all getting, let alone
Yeah.
the love and the bonding and all of that. So
Yeah.
sorry, I just had to share all that.
No, I love that.
Because that means,
I think that's great.
well, he was just talking about how he was on the ground with his dog, right? And like, so okay, so if you have an animal, get down on your ground with your animal for 15 minutes and go crazy, right? Even if you're the one playing with the toy and they don't want to play catch with you, you be the dog and keep going back and forth and just be funny, right? As long as you're having a good time, smiling, laughing,
Yeah.
raising endorphin, right? That's like, so that's another thing that you could say too, like joining a class, going to gather some of your friends or whatever, you're a neighbor, and you know, just going and doing something together with somebody like that, or your animal, that interaction of 15 minutes of raising those endorphins, that's you're getting some really good medicine.
Yes. Yes. And I love that, how you said that. I say that a lot. Good medicine. Things are good medicine. Laughter is good medicine. Yeah. And yeah, I have a puggle, and I'll get on the floor and play with my puggle, and I'll bark at him. And he's just like, he loves it. Like the more I bark, the better, the happier he is, you know? So I'm a dog for a little while when I play with my puggle.
I actually have a week challenge for everybody. They can just, in the next week, every time you hug someone, hold them for like at least 17 seconds.
I do that.
And feel and be aware how you feel after you've held on longer, and you allow it to just be. And you'll be surprised, because the heart energies actually connect in that. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a cool experience. And you're helping each other in that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a scientific fact that we need human touch, like even as newborns. That's why they have all the extra nurses in the newborn nursery, because we need that touch. We need that affection. And I actually do that with everybody that I hug. I just hang on to them and I don't let them go anywhere because I know it's good medicine.
Yeah.
And even if you can't do that, right? I was at the fish store a while back, and the guy's behind the counter, so I can't, that would be weird to get back behind the counter and give him a hug. So
that'd be weird.
you probably think,
Yeah.
so what I did is I just his hand, right? And I like held it, and he loved it, right? Or when I was at the deli and I was getting some lunch meat, right? I just really make sure that I like give that gratitude to that person. You know, even the checker, like, thank you for working. They're always like, it's kind of, I have to work. But I'm like, no, you didn't have to be here right now. Like,
Right.
At my service, like, right, you're like doing my group. So thank you. You know, just that little bit of gratitude, a little bit of acknowledgement. Like, I don't know if I said this last time, but remember, let's not let people be invisible. Nobody likes to be invisible.
Right.
I don't. I know none of you do.
Yeah.
So it's not nice. So let's share like our smile, even if that's all that you can offer and you can't do the touch.
And eye contact.
Yes, share something and change somebody's day. Like Garret said, it's a week challenge. See if you can do it every time you're out, right? You change somebody's life by some kindness of action that costs nothing.
Yeah. And it's good for you. It's also good for you to be kind is a very indirect, self-rewarding feeling. You know, it makes you feel better about yourself and the world, you know.
Why we're called mankind.
Yeah.
Say that again.
That's why we're called mankind.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are those playoff words.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Isn't there something on your website about being kind, Garret?
Mine is my website name is Happiness from Within. So
Yeah, it seems like I remembered something about being kind on there. What, baby?
Yeah.
Milo
I'm sure I
keeps
have
getting
something in there.
See,
What?
we're get through
Okay.
with our kindness.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and talk about maybe some tapping, the EFT. Garrett, if you'll maybe kind of kick that off for us and talk about what that is.
Well, it's basically the meridian points in our body. So we have certain energy flows that go through our body. I wouldn't say I'm an expert at it. I think I've recently started learning about it just to make sure I'm clear on that as well. But as I'm learning about Qigong, I've taken a course in EFT tapping, and there's certain sequences that you can do to help with different patterns or different things that you're working with, whether it's for pain relief or different things. Like one common one is to pinch in between here where the tender tissue is. It kind of hurts, but if you hold that for 30 seconds to a minute, you can do the left side first and then the right side, and then keep doing that for a little while. And that usually gets rid of most headaches and some types of pains and things. What I'm learning is if you add the intent of the thought of what you're doing with some type of positive thought, that actually enhances it. And I'm learning that about Qigong as well. So I'm really excited about understanding that these points we can literally activate, and little steps that we can do. That's part of why we're having this show, is things that are cheap and free and things we can do every day to enhance our vitality, our quality of life and everything. So just in our chest, we probably have, I'd say 12 to 24 different meridian points that are very beneficial to all of our body and the way our body functions, whether it's directly tied to your lungs or other organs or things like that. So just by kind of popping your chest up and acting like a bear and just feeling good and proud of yourself and just tapping on your chest like that for a good 3 or 4 minutes, you're actually activating chi and you're getting that flow. Like right now, I can feel my spine. I can feel it in my spine. So it's pushing chi and moving it in my body, which opens up blockages and like that. So when you do tap, some of the things they start out with is you can use your thumbs, and here's points here. I don't know specifically all about it, but I'm just showing a few points. But you're activating a chi point that connects to other points. And what I understand about chi is it's a body that's kind of external of you, but internal of you as well. And the outside worldly chi energy helps our chi flow inside of us as well. So you can use nature and things like that to help enhance it for us. So this is kind of more of a Qigong, I suppose, than an EFT tapping informational, but it's all the same information. It's just what label you put on it and how you're using it really is what it is. So,
But aren't there like points on your wrist that you can tap? And
if you find the line on your wrist here and you go 2 fingers below that and you push in there, that will help with blood pressure. Like it helps your blood and kind of relieve your anxiety a little bit.
okay, so that's like
find it
pressure. That's like an acupressure kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and they all are exactly the same thing. It's just what we name it for what type of therapy we're trying to do to it.
Right.
Which is the beautiful thing I'm excited about.
Yeah.
So
if you didn't want to press on the point, like the tapping, it would be like that, right? Isn't that how you do it? It's like 2 fingers and you tap with your fingertip.
Yeah.
And like on your temples.
Or you can roll it over, just roll over.
And there's like somewhere in your collarbone, there's more of them. Yeah.
So EFT and TFT is more of a pattern breaking and identifying patterns to help, like whether it's a thought pattern or a pain pattern or things. So they're more strategic in the sequence of what and where you do it.
Okay.
So to learn more about that, I recommend anybody can go on Udemy and take a EFT tapping course, kind of as a introductory. It's $11 or $22 or something like that. They have options you can choose from, but it's a quick way to kind of tap into it, get some knowledge on it and say, yeah, this is for me, or I'm not sure if this is for me. You'll resonate with what works best for you.
Right.
So I feel more drawn to more of the Qigong energy healing. So
Yeah.
acupuncture, exactly the same thing as all of these TFT tapping points. They're using the same meridian system.
Right.
So if you really want to get into the energy healing aspect, maybe diving into the meridian system as well and understanding the flows. But
Right.
definitely something to look into, see what you resonate with.
So is that
So
something
it's
that we
like
can
an activate.
go ahead?
Go ahead. Well, what I wanted to explain, because when he was talking about the chi, so people could understand that and like the meridian and stuff, I like to always have a descriptions because I'm very visual person. So you think of like steam in a shower, right?
Mhm.
You turn on the shower and it's like you can't see it, but you start activating that meridian, you're going into it, the steam kind of carries out, right? Like it's the flow of your energy is going to carry out. And with that, with the chi, you're activating those different parts of that, right? And so like the acupuncture, I guess, is where you could look to find the points. You know, you could go on to whatever and Google or whatever it is and find the acupuncture points of the body. And then those points are where you would do the tapping or you do the qigong or yoga. You know, I would also suggest mindfully asking before you go into your any kind of session of what you're doing to help activate that area to feel better too, as well as whatever you're doing too, right? To help with that whole process. But yeah, that's basically what it is. And it's just it's just a light tapping when you're going to go to those acupuncture points and you're just going to start tapping that part, and it's going to help activate, because what that tapping is doing is it's putting a frequency, right? And it's going up to the brain, traveling, and the brain is telling that part of that back into the meridian energy system to activate it, right?
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Very well done.
And so is the that's kind of complicated though, right? All of these points. There's a lot of like I have an acupressure book and there's like a gazillion different points you can press on for different reasons. But is there like, so my question for the viewers, are there simple main points?
Here, so this is the one here. There's through here. They're through each of the fingers. You can come through each of them here,
Side.
right? The sides, yes, through there. And then there is the tapping here, the tapping here, the tapping here, the tapping here. And so when you're going through these, don't ever, like, it is good, just because I was in the cosmetology world, so I will tell you, if you could use these two fingers, you don't press so hard, right? Try to keep your, but when you're doing them lightly. And this one right here too helps actually break up sinuses too, you know, and activates right through here for the facial parts. That's what people do with the massages, lavage and petrissage, and right, it's like all these muscles coming up, and you're activating these certain parts of your body. So yeah, with the tapping, I'm just familiar with, I'm sorry, just the Callahan tapping method, and I found it on YouTube. It really helped me a lot. It was very, very, very easy, and I just followed it, and I just rewinded it, and then I did it again. And then after a couple times, I knew how to do it, and I would just go in and do this by myself, to get rid of a stressful situation or something that I felt like I was in. And that would just calm me down, because I was activating, I don't know what exactly what I was tapping that for into, but it was actually helping my anxiety. So I would suggest Callahan tapping method on YouTube. You can find it, and it's for free.
I love that. And you actually reminded me when you mentioned the cosmetology, because I took cosmetology also. And I remember them teaching about the fingers now and with the facial massages and stuff, because these two fingers are actually stronger than the rest, right? And that's why you want to be gentle with those fingers.
Yes.
Yeah. And I love a good face massage.
But it is because it in if anybody's gone to school for this, pet dressage is the pet, it's patting, right? That is what that is. F lavage, and then I can't remember. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I blanked out. But there's three of them, and that's what that is, and it's these muscles, right? And then you also too, people get a lot of like headaches and stuff, and they forget that there's these points right back here, and
Yeah.
that's like a acid that's built up, right? And you can push on those softly, right? And massage
Yeah.
those, and that will actually help release any kind of tension, headaches, and things like that that you get, because sometimes we don't realize we like to bite our jaw,
Or
right? To
cleanse.
do certain things, and after,
Mhm.
yes, and after time, you've got to do that. So go ahead and like massage there's these things that we call rad rollers. I really love them, and they have a little tiny ball about like this big, and it's actually for your jaw, to take that ball and like massage it right through here, right? And really work on those certain things.
Yeah.
So that's these are all just like little things that, again, you could look up facial massage, right? And get the directions on how to do that, and go through the motions with yourself, and use some lotion, right? Keep your lotion or whatever it can, because you don't want to keep it dry. But yeah, you could do that for yourself too. That's just a self-care. These are self-care, also relaxation and tranquility and
Yeah.
inexpensive way.
Yeah. I
I think
agree.
one way I've expressed my feminine energy, if you will, for the guys, as far as being a role model and being vulnerable, I enjoy going and finding new bars of soap and or shampoos that are organic and that actually help with your vitalization and everything. It's kind of my way to give back to myself. Like a female might go out and get their pedicure or those kind of things done. That's just kind of something I enjoy, is going and finding, when I do find something I like, and then I get that. And then when I do shower, it's something I'm enjoying. It's not that I got to go shower and I'm just going through the moment. And when I am in there and moving, I'm being cognitive of my left and right, and kind of incorporating all of it, knowing that everything I'm doing in there, I'm adding water to my body externally. I'm cleansing and cleaning myself, and I'm adding, love into me, because I'm taking care in what I'm doing. But this one idea of taking a shower can be so empowering, because of all these different things you can perceptualize into it that's actually benefiting you. And it's just another way of, how do I empower myself from daily tasks? It's like you said, doing
Yeah.
dishes. You can, that's such an enhanced experience that raises your
Right.
vibration. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. And we do need more guys to think about that, that um, it's not something that's exclusive to women to do self-love type care, you know. Men need it too. We all deserve that lavish treatment of ourselves, we all deserve that little gift or reward for whatever goal we were trying to achieve, finally reaching it, and then give yourself a gift or whatever for it. So I love that you shared that. That's really, and that shows to you mindfulness. We need to be mindful of what we're doing at all times, because the more mindful we can be, then, the more we benefit our entire well-being, right? Like
Like
emotionally,
when I
everything.
was a barber, sorry,
No, go ahead.
but when I was a barber, I I worked with a lot of men, right? And I had to like, you know, show them that it was okay to like go old school and get your like shaving cream and like whip it up and take that time to like apply it to your face, right? Old school, make that a ritual for part of yourself, right? and really take good care, and then watch each stroke that you were doing, like put your time into it. That's your face, right? You're taking a razor to your face. Like take the time to take that ritual and look into your eyes, and like, you know, just be thankful, right? And be thankful for it. That was the one thing I used to tell the men. Um, like they age like scotch, right? They get good look and they age like scotch. But the thing is that they should be allowed to pamper themselves and treat themselves in a
Yeah.
way. So, you know, buy yourself some lavish shaving cream if it is. Spend the extra money that you wanted to, or whatever, to get the nicer shampoos and the soaps that you're talking about, right? And really take that time and be mindful in that morning when you're doing it, because the men deserve it just as much as the women. And I would see them, and it was sad because it was only like they felt comfortable in the barber shop, right? If they were to go into a women's salon, they like didn't feel comfortable to go buy that stuff, right? So now you have a place, you have places, you can get them online. There's deals, you know, like Harry's razors and stuff like that that you can buy. You can spend a little bit of extra money and do it, or you can also pamper yourself and find a really good person and go once in a while and get a shave, right? And get that experience that
Yeah.
I used to. Groomsmen used to love it for wedding parties, right? To go and have an old school shave, right? And sit back in a chair and get taken care of and pampered and all that stuff. That is like something that's so fun. And I just want you to, like, whatever you're doing, try not to make it like a chore. If it's feeling like a chore, then you're doing it wrong.
Right. Exactly.
You're doing it wrong.
Even just something as simple as treating yourself to a shampoo at a salon or a barber, male or female. Because, man, that's like the best feeling in the world, to get somebody else to rub your head, wash your hair. That's such a good, relaxing feeling.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
therapeutic. It's and if you and you know, I'm not trying to be weird, but if you're not getting that physical touch, right? I understand that. So to go see somebody in that professional way, right? That you could lay back and they can give you a nice scalp massage, right? That's you're connecting, right? And to all those people out there that do hair and do that, you know, please understand, like, you have a lot to be giving, and take good care of these people that are sitting with you and spending that time with you and giving you that money for that service too, right?
Right.
So
Exactly.
it's a win-win in both aspects for both people. But yeah, or even if you can't do that, right? You want to have a romantic, you want to like you know, impress your lady or your man, wash their hair for them one night, right? I remember
Right.
that was so sweet one time for my daughter, right? When she was in the hospital, there was a lady that washed her hair for her. It was so amazing. It was so nice. It's such a nice, thoughtful thing to do, and doesn't cost anything to do that too. Again, to wash somebody's hair for them.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
We have such good ideas tonight.
Yeah. Garrett, do you have anything, excuse me, anything to add to that before we move on?
No, I think it's all beautiful.
Okay.
No, I like it.
Any books or affirmations that either of you would like to suggest for helping to relax and calm, relieve stress?
You said any books or what?
Affirmations.
Oh, affirmations.
I think I have an affirmation that I use for manifestation, if you will, and it, if I do it routinely and kind of in a daily ritual, it helps me connect to source as well. And that's just the affirmation of I welcome new opportunities and ways of moving through the world. I trust the process and that it will deliver what I desire in the perfect form at the perfect time. And it's just having a simple belief or thought, or you're manifesting that energy, but it's helping you connect, as you say it, to higher source, because you're working towards manifesting it. And it also just gives you a sense of peace. Every time I read through that, I'm like, you know what? It is all good, isn't it? You know, it's just this positive energy I get every time I read it, because I believe it and I know it's true, you know, but it helps me remind myself and keep me in that energy. So
Yeah, that's a good one. Maybe we can like type that out and put it in the link below too, for them to have, so that they don't have to like.
I can screen share an image if everybody wants it real fast. And then they can pause the video. And
Great, yeah.
if you can, everybody see that?
Mhm.
Okay. Let me put this guy.
Oh, I love
Yeah. I was afraid to talk because it might put me back in the spotlight. I'm not sure how it's going to work.
Oh,
But yeah, I think as long as we're screen sharing it, don't do that. I also have a really good affirmation that Glennis McCant gave out one time on Coast to Coast. She's the numbers lady. And it's a really simple affirmation. It is abundance is my divine right. I am healthy, wealthy, and light. And even though it's an abundance manifestation type affirmation, the more you say it, the more light you feel. The, you know, like the weight lifts off your shoulders. It makes you feel less stress. And it really got me through a lot of tough times back in the day when I was like poverty stricken. So anyone who feels any kind of stress, especially financial stress, I would definitely recommend that. She's got tons of affirmations, but that was just my favorite one that I've ever heard her say. And it's so simple, you know, I mean, it's easy to remember. And for me, I can't remember very long affirmations. I can't even remember my own, my daily mantra. I have to read it off my paper every day because it's so long that I'm going to forget part of it somewhere. So, you know, it was really easy for me to memorize the little short one.
Some of mine were, I love Wayne Dyer. I love him. And so I have a little book, and so that's one of my favorites. And you can always go to him, and he's got a great, amazing sayings. But where your focus flows, your energy goes. Right. That was one of his sayings. But Lois Hay, she was one of my favorites, and she actually helped with her book company to help produce Wayne Dyer. And she's got amazing affirmations, tons of them, and you could put them on and just listen to them in the shower, while you're sleeping, whatever it may be. That's just great. Just let them, your brain digest it, right? But one of my other, the ones I have it written on my calendar, and I just had to grab it. But it was vision yourself as you always dreamed, that you would make you happy and filled with love. And
Aw.
that's just like, just, you know, that's one of my favorites. And I put ASAP by it too, like
Yeah.
let's now.
Yeah. Now.
Right. And all my family, yeah, like it's now, so yeah, just always check yourself. And if it's not your vision and it's not matching your face, right, if your
Right.
face ain't not matching the feeling you got going inside, you better adjust your face.
Right.
Sure, it helps.
Right. I love that. What'd you say,
I also
Garret?
like the saying, and so it is. I like the saying, and so it is, or something greater. So
Yeah.
after you say whatever you're saying, you can kind of, and so it is, it puts it out into the universe. And, yeah.
I like this one too. I learned this one. Just say, why does everything always work out? And then sometimes I'll be saying something and Jake answers, and I was like, no, not you. It's the universe. It's the universe's question. I already left it out, but it's the statement that I already put it there. Was it? It's already done. Why is it? It's just amazing, right? And but I'm sure, I know it's a little weird to say that a lot. It's hard to get your brain in there, but once you're there and you just keep saying, you know, let the universe have the question. It's already out there. Like, you know, why is it that I always have dinner ready, every night. I just always can figure out something for dinner every night. Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there, right? That's just real simple like that. But why not? Why not go there and have that affirmation of like everything is already working out. So just throw it out there. Talk aloud.
Yeah, I like it. All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to wrap this up. Any parting words either of you would like to say to the viewers, or extra little quick tips maybe that we didn't cover?
I just want to tell everybody in this new year, like, be strong, be brave, right? That's probably my biggest thing is just be brave. Be brave within yourself. Be brave in all your actions. Be brave in your thoughts. Be brave in your heart. I know people are going through some trial times right now. It's not to say that each one of us don't have trials and tribulations that we go through.
Yeah.
And we're human and we're raw and real like everybody else. So I just want everybody to know that like you truly are in our thoughts and our prayers, and I just want you to know, if you believe that your life is going to get better and you believe in yourself, I promise you 100% it will happen. It will happen. It will in due time, right? It's what you put out there is what you'll get back. So invest in yourself, and try to keep it inexpensive, like we've been talking about, and find your tranquil place to be. It's a good place to have.
Yeah, I think I just want to add that we need to just remember to love ourselves and talk nicely to ourselves. And regardless of what method you use to remove the stress and the anxiety or the anger or the fear or whatever negative emotions that you're feeling, everybody has their own path. So just try out several different things. And if they don't fit with you, don't stress over it. Just move on to the next little thing, because, we all have to find our niche in it somewhere. And it's not going to be the same for everybody. So I don't want people to feel frustrated because any of the things that we've mentioned just don't work for them. Keep looking, because there's got to be something out there. You just listen to your own body and the way you're resonating with it, and that's how you're going to find what's right for you.
Yeah, I think my last parting words, I think, would be changing your routine and changing your pattern. We're so used to being so routine and doing everything the same way all the time. It's all in our left brain. We're not having to think about anything. We're not being creative using the right side of the brain. So we're in this autopilot mode. So over the next week or two, take a different way home. Just go explore a different route. Go drive somewhere for no reason on Saturday. And you'll see these different things are brought into your life for you that enhance your life. You'll have different experiences. You'll have more quality of life in that. So just be open to changing the routine that you have so that it enhances it as well, and give life an opportunity to give back to you a little bit more. If we have that pattern, we just go straight home, we shut everybody off and we're done. We're kind of doing that to ourselves, So if we do want a little bit better quality of life, step into it. Like you said, be courageous, love yourself in it, and give yourself that opportunity to have that chance to do and have other experiences. And then you don't have the regrets later that you didn't do much when time passes by, So
Right.
The other thing is, if you have any questions about anything, please reach out to all three of us. We all have a little bit different perspective, but we come from the same source of understanding. And I think that's why we chose to work together. But definitely, I have Facebook. I'm always available for any questions, or you just want to get together and say, hey, I just had some ideas and thoughts. That's what this time period's about, is growing and building tribes. So I'm sure she can put some stuff as far as our Facebook or maybe our websites in the
I
box.
sure
But,
will.
awesome. And I'm personally looking for people that want to come on and tell their story and how healing that can be sometimes to open up and share that.
Yes.
And it could be whatever you want it to be, you know. I never put it on like a YouTube channel unless they want me to. So I'll record it with them and then we can edit whatever they want out of it, or if they want to keep something or not something. And then if they want it to go on YouTube, we can do that, or we don't have to. But it's really important for people to hear other people's stories because we all have a lot of the same stories.
Yeah.
And once you can do that and share that and connect to other people, life opens up and it really feels good. Just the way I feel engaging with the two of you.
Right.
It definitely feels really good. And I'm appreciative of that. So thank you.
Yes. Yes. And I am as well very thankful to have people of like mind to talk to. And I want everyone who watches us to really honestly know that we mean it when we say we want to be accessible. We really want you to reach out to us. We really want you to share your stories or to just have a conversation if that's what you want to do. If you have a question, you know, we're not charging for this. This is humanity coming back together as a collective. And the Great Awakening is really nothing if we can't collectively do it. I mean, that's the whole purpose of it, is to come together collectively. So please reach out to us. Feel free to, in the comments, emails, Facebook. There will be many avenues of accessibility. And I will put all of that in the links below or in the discussion box below, description, whatever. You know what I mean. Amanda, I know you want to say.
If I could, yeah, you're letting us fulfill our purpose, everyone. So if you
Yeah.
are inquiring of us and you know we vibe with you guys, right? Like, please understand, this is like letting us fulfill our purpose too. We know what we're here for. Allow us to use what we're here for.
Right.
And I just wanted to say that because that's a big thing too. It's not just your
Yes.
purpose, right, for the people, but it's also our purpose to help you. That's what we know that, and that's why
Yeah.
we're here for you.
Yes.
That's why we're doing this.
That's why we're doing it. That's right. That's why we're here, because we want to help people. So yeah, we would be sad if you don't reach out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, guys. I think
Thank
that's
you.
a beautiful place to end. Until next Wednesday, be well, be blessed, and have a happy, safe New Year. Right?
We'll see you next year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.